This is the portion of the program that I dedicate to my my great respect for the music of Bob Dylan. When I was a teenager, I left Chicago and I went to northern Minnesota. My family was sort of falling apart, and my grandfather had died, and there was an empty cabin on Lake Vermilion. And going there and understanding that that's where Bob Dylan wrote some of his early material, maybe, or at least that he came out of there, I guess. And by 1978, when I was there, he was probably in Malibu, where he was out enjoying the world. But I was up there, and I thought about what it must have been like for him to be there as a child, as a young person. And I became obsessed with the recordings of Mr. Dylan. I was married to Bob Dylan back in 1978, way up on the borderline with only his voice and mine to be a distraction from the cold winter's nights. I came up from Chicago, there was nothing left to save. I up and stole my daddy's car, drove by the Northern Star, looking for salvation and a place to lay my head. Gone away, gone away, my home, my family, and my faith. Gone away, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Gone away, gone away. I came out in the summer, but the winter soon set in. In the homestead of my grandfather, with the ghosts of my ancestors, I reckoned with my sins. My grandfather, he had died and left no place to me. Later found him years ago, face down in the blinding snow. His ghost hovered over me when the winds howled round the door. Gone away, gone away, my home, my family, and my faith. Gone away, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Gone away, gone away. In Hibbing and Virginia, I played from bar to bar. I would sing the harmony, no one heard Bob's voice but me. Knowing he was there gave me the courage to set me free. I tried not to look back. I switched my rail to another track. Left my family far behind, and none of them got out alive. The songs are my companions when the loneliness set in. Tell me lies, tell me lies. I don't care who they were written for. Those lines should all be mine. Tell me lies, tell me lies. The words all glowed like burning coal, and I was on my knees, you know. My heart aches for you still, you know. When I was only 8 years old, my grandfather, God bless his soul, said, "Little girl, take a tip from me. Wear your heart upon your sleeve. When your love goes, let him leave. You can't hold on to what's not yours to keep. Run away, my home, my Well, we're doing something like this where we haven't played together and we haven't been out playing, and we're also playing brand new material. It can become just like, oh my God, I hope we make it through this next hour, and I really don't want it to be like that. So I want to talk to each guy again. I want to say thank you, Jeff Victor, for being here tonight. Isn't he lovely? Such a brilliant man. And I've enjoyed knowing him and working with him many times, and I'm delighted that he's been part of this new album. And the great and powerful, the man that we sometimes refer to as the Polish wonder, Mr. Rob Genadek, the producer. Yes. And when you pick up a CD, or when you get this new album, however you like to listen to things these days, and you hear all this wonderful cowboy choir in the background singers, the entire cowboy choir is this man here, Mr. Rob Genadek. It's wonderful to hear his singing.
Roady-do.
And John James, who is a songwriter in his own right and great musician, and he's played on many of the records as well, and he's toured with me many times in many places. We've done 14 tours to Europe, and JJ's been on most of them in the past decade. John James, somehow he managed to, somehow he managed to make up these wonderful cowboy guitar parts, and also he plays bass and sings back up as well. But he also puts out his own music too, so you can look up John James. So I just wanted to take another second to make sure I said all that, so that the hour doesn't slip through with us not really honoring ourselves for being together. And again, to all of you, you've made it this far. You've made it this far. We've all been through a lot, and we're in Minneapolis, and we've all been through a lot in a lot of ways. So God bless us, everyone.